From King's proposal, looks like Castoria 69th Ascension to me, if I have to be honest. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 29th of July to 3rd of August 2024. And before we proceed, 3 important announcements over here. The first one is the most important one. I did mention it in a community post a few days ago, but I might as well repeat it just in case. I will be in the hospital. I will be undergoing surgery this Tuesday, which is like less than 2 days away. A bit anxious over here. It has to do with my tonsils, so nothing too concerning, not a major health issue, but I might as well share it with you guys. My tonsils has been causing me my throat problems over the past decade or so. They can get swollen pretty bad, and in severe cases, it can obstruct breathing when you are sleeping. And I have reached the point where they have to be removed. So the procedure is this Tuesday. So that means that the next Figure News Fix episode, which is on 11th of August, Sunday, may have to be delayed at least by a few days because I am still recuperating by then, still healing, and I don't want to stress out my throat too much. I'm not sure how fast I will heal, and I'm assuming it will take some time. After all, I'm not the same guy as the one you saw in Redo Healer, so there you go. And the second announcement is that, this Tuesday, I think this Tuesday or Wednesday, I will schedule it in advance. By the time I am in hospital, you guys will get to see my One Fest coverage, which is a bit late, I know, because I just came back from an outstation trip related to my job, so everything was delayed slightly. And the third announcement, this is actually a news. Phat Company is changing their name to Phatism. What? I might actually mispronounce their name from time to time to fetishism. What kind of name is that? Like, Japanese companies or organizations in general, they can be really bad when it comes to their naming sense, and this is a perfect example of it. It sounds more like a body positivity organization now. How about concentrating on improving the quality control of the figures rather than the name of a company, which, honestly speaking, we don't care. And yeah, anyways, now let's get back to the figures on pre-order this week, making use of HLJ Hobby Link Japan, our affiliate partner. And we have too many genuine figures on pre-order this week. Way too many. I need to go through them as quickly as possible. Yeah, post One Fest, some stuff are beginning to go on pre-order, and as usual, we'll begin with 1x4 skill. 2 of them this week. 3 of them actually. Okay. The first one is by freeing once again 1x4 skill Senran Kagura again. Toki Bunny version. 40,000 yen, because those giant papayas cost money to make. Like, you see a normal bust size, it would be 37,000 yen. A flat one would be maybe 30 to 34,000 yen. And then anything bigger than B or C cup, it would be 40,000 yen and up. I found this coincidence to be a bit entertaining at least. Yeah, okay, so this one is coming out in April next year. Fairly quick. And yeah, this is for Senran Kagura fans. What else can I say? I've talked about Senran Kagura way too many times already, so I won't go into lengthy details. This is for those of you who love this game or the anime series. Yeah, for me, it was okay. I only watched the anime adaptation. Moving on to the next 1x4 skill. This actually went on pre-order last Saturday. By the time last week's Figure News Fix episode has concluded filming, okay, my habit of pronouncing the word film wrongly. Okay, so let's talk about her for a second right now. Lemalin Azalane 1x4 scale listless Lapin version by Mimeyoi. This is 33,500 Japanese yen, coming out in June next year. And there is actually a cheaper version which went on pre-order on Monday. So I don't know if this was intentional. That is really evil if it was, because this cheaper version without the solid acrylic base, you can get her for 30,000 yen. In case you think, I don't need that base, I have a nicer base that I would make on my own, stuff like that. Or you would just put this figure on top of another figure which has a giant base, then maybe you can go for the cheaper version. Never put a sitting figure like this on a plain table surface, a shelf surface without any base. Never ever do that, because you might inflict scratches underneath the knee region, the butt region of your figures. Yeah, always use a base, right? Sometimes, the shelf, the wooden shelf like this one over here behind me, it is not natural wood color. It is painted in a way. And if you were to put a figure on a painted surface without any base to protect your figures underside, yeah, you can see where this is going. There will be paint transfer, and then one day when you lift up your figure to inspect it, you'll see all these brown color stains on the back side of your figure, and that is not cool at all. So always put your figures on a base even if they don't need it. Very important. So in general, I would still advise you guys to go for the one with the base unless you have other plans for this figure. As for Lemali, yeah, get one. For someone who doesn't collect Azalane figures, but I just bought my first one not too long ago, I can see myself buying more. And Lemaline, I love my lollies. I like her a lot. You can see me buying at least one skill figure of her very soon. Yeah. As for this 1x4 skill, I don't know if I will pre-order yet. Yeah. The price is very fair. I don't have a problem with the price, just that I have to be very selective with what I pre-order. Moving on to the next one over here, we have, 3 1x4 skills. We have more in AmiAmi later for binding 1x4 skill edgy figures. Now we move on to 1x6 skill, some original art figures or anything that is slightly edgy. Yeah, I group all of them together. This is 1x6 skill Ginpatsu Shoujo. Fancy spelling over there. Shoujo. Illustration by Mitsudoe. Okay, by a company called 18. 18 is a edgy figure company. Every figures they make something along those lines of partially castable stuff. The quality, I can't say much because I don't have much experience with them. Hopefully I get to purchase them, because figures like this, even if I were to purchase them, they are mostly for personal enjoyment. I can't review them on YouTube at all. Yeah, it is quite frustrating. Unless the reviews are being age restricted, of course. Okay, this is going for 22,500 yen, coming out in February. And given that you have swappable parts, to display her partially cast off, or down there can display her partially cast off as well. I don't know how many extra parts you're getting, but it shouldn't be many. But in general, 1x6 skill at 22k, 23k is not too bad of a price. Personally, I actually do like women with this kind of haircut, but I think she is a bit too thick for my taste, so I won't be ordering this one. Moving on to the next one, Alter, 1x7 skill Viper Toxic Rabbit version from Goddess of Victory Nikke. This is going to be extremely popular, even though this is just a bunny girl. I actually like it. I know I complain a lot about bunny girls being way too common, but this is Nikke and I like the characters in Nikke a lot. I am not sure if I want to pre-order now, but at the same time, I'm a bit concerned. I mean, I watched so many Blue Archive figures go up in value after release, some of which I did not purchase because of budget restraints, and I have the same concerns about Nikke in general. Yeah. I don't see myself buying every figure from Nikke. I will be selective with the characters, but I love the color scheme on this one. We'll see. Because with Nikke figures, I would prefer the character to be holding some kind of firearm. Yeah, and none of that is visible over here. But you can't go wrong with Alter in general. Moving up to the next one, wow, it almost seems like there is nothing covering her chest, but it is just a really low-cut dress, right? For fan service reasons, but Facebook moderators, they don't like it, so I still have to cover it in some way. Okay, so this is a 1x6 skill dolphin with Vina Kirahoshi Kana by Cyber Agent. 27,000 yen, July release next year. Cyber Agent, so far, yeah, I think every figure they have placed on pre-order are Niji Sanji stuff. Dolphin Wave, I have no idea what it is, but my guess over here is that it is either a game or has something to do with VTubers as well. Please enlighten me in the comments below. Yeah. 27k for 1x6 skill, something like this, especially this is way too expensive. Way too pricey for what she is. Hopefully she bins after release. That is all I have to say. Moving up next, we have a very nice Nekomimi girl. Original character Alice 1/6 skill. Illustration by Asanagi by Space Mogura, 24,000 yen. Very fair price considering that this is castable extra parts coming out in February very soon. Okay, with Space Mogura, I have yet to get to touch or see their figures in person because this is a very new brand. I just started noticing them last year. Yeah, in an anime figure event, was it One Fest or something else, where they displayed a lot, and I mean a lot of artwork on the walls at the event. Like, we will be making figures of this artwork. And their artwork, or at least the artist they have chosen to make figures from, they were quite unique. They have some really interesting characters, alien-like characters, like, yeah, blue color skin, green color skin, and so on. They have all these unique characters. While this is more tame, a more normal looking art character, I still love the artwork a lot, right? And yeah, this figure is one of my favorites this week, like top 5 favorites. I like it a lot. 24k is really fair. And yeah, I will be keeping an eye on this figure brand even though I don't plan on pre-ordering one at the moment. I might purchase one in stock in future, who knows. Okay, moving on to the next one, FGO. Oh, finally, after so many weeks of months even, so many months of lack of FGO stuff, oh boy, this is something I would buy for sure. I don't know if I will pre-order one now. Who knows what the customs think of this figure? Yeah, the customs in my country. This is not an edgy figure, right? But there is enough skin being shown that it might be a bit controversial. Worst case scenario, I'll just import her from China, from Taobao, instead of buying it from HLJ. As much as I would prefer to get it over here from HLJ, right? So we have Assassin Karma Final Second Coming. She's coming. Okay, Second Ascension by Medicos Entertainment, which unfortunately does not have the best reputation when it comes to quality control, but at 21,000 yen only, I'm open to this figure. I will buy one. And this will be my first Medicos Entertainment figure. The reason why I haven't purchased a figure from this company so far is because they never made stuff that I wanted to buy. They do a lot of JoJo Bizarre Adventure stuff, which I don't collect. And for female characters, they were actually known for this figure. Yeah, Black Lagoon, yes. Black Lagoon is a classic anime by now. I'm not sure if early or mid 2000s can be called classic, but it is over 20 years old. I loved Black Lagoon, I watched it. So they were known for their Black Lagoon figures, and then yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So it was quite a surprise for me to see them making FGO figure. And yeah, this is the perfect opportunity for me to see how their figures turn out. And even if it isn't the best FGO figure, I will still keep her because I like the pose, the face expression of this Karma so much. Oh, that face over there. When I see it, I know that I must have it. And until today, I have yet to purchase the one by Kadokawa that cost 34,000 yen. I'm still keeping an eye on her. She is not that hard to find yet. Yeah, but I will buy that one by Kadokawa one day. And also this one by Medicos, I'll buy both. I like the character design so much, right? I can't show you the real view, but all I can tell you at the moment is that she has a very nice backside as well. So for FGO fans, despite the questionable history of Medicos Entertainment, pre-order one. Okay, moving on to the next one, another FGO figure by Alter, Oberon Pretender. Okay, as a fan of the Fate series, I have no idea what this Pretender class is, to be honest. Like so many new classes in the recent years, but I don't care. I buy these figures for their character design. And you know, with Oberon, there is a prize figure of him, which is very nice. It was either Taito or Furyu, I can't remember which one. And I do think I want to get one just because it is a FGO figure. I don't see myself spending 44,000 yen for a scale figure of a male character unless I have a lot of cash lying around not knowing what to do with them. Like, you know, the priority isn't high, but seriously, I would love to have this figure. It would be even better if we get to display him with the butterfly wings open up, like you swap it out, open and close. That would be amazing. I don't think it is possible based on the images over here. Yeah, not an option. But regardless, for those of you collecting male characters from FGO, this is a must-have. Seriously, 44k, I know it is a lot, but worth it for this figure. Alright, moving on to the next one. Oh, this is something I should pre-order because where do I even start, man? Anyways, Blue Archive Hibiki Cheerleader version at 1/7 scale by Golden Head. This looks like a good smile figure, but it isn't. It is by Golden Head. 18,000 plus yen, June release next year. My month of June next year. Oh yeah, my June is still vacant next year. I don't have any pre-orders for June 2025. I might pre-order one. I'm a bit concerned. Like I mentioned earlier, Blue Archive figures are going up all over the place in value. They either go up or maintain their value right after release, which means no point waiting a few months after release and risk the value going up further. So with that blush face over there, I might consider pre-ordering it. Quite a shame that we don't get any firearm, only a bag. Yeah, maybe her rifle is in the bag over there. Yeah. Okay, so how many of you have pre-ordered this figure or plan to? Let me know down in the comments below. I will consider. I usually don't buy things impulsively. I think for a few days, and then if I really want it, I hit the pre-order button. This is very likely to go into my pre-order list. Moving up to the next one, we have a figure of Ram, Aqua Dress version by Design Coco, just under 20,000 yen. Yeah, I remember this one. Ram was on pre-order of, was it a month or 2 months ago? So I find it curious or weird that it took them more than a month to put Ram on pre-order. Normally it is back-to-back weeks, This week Ram, next week Ram, or vice versa, but it took them more than a month. And there is one thing I just realized is that there is a noticeable reduction in the number of Ram and Ram figures lately, which is refreshing. Because yeah, the past few years we had too many of them. There is lesser of them now. Okay, this is coming out in September next year, so quite a long way to go, more than a year. And the next one over here, Ram, but by Prisma Wing. Ram Glass Edition, 26,000 yen, July release next year. Now, this is supposed to be a high quality, high detail figure, and it probably is, just that my impression of this figure has already been ruined by Taito and Furio's prize figure. Was it Taito or Furio? Anyways, they have this series of prize figures of the Queen's Essential Quintuplet Sisters, where they are lying in a wine glass or an ice cream dish of some kind. Also Ram and Ram as well. So, when I recall those figures and then I took a look at this one, I almost want to write her off as, yeah, this is just another overpriced prize figure when it isn't. So, my early impressions are already ruined for this Ram figure. And let me repeat my rant over here. Ram isn't the kind of character to be smiling all day. So, all these fancy Ram figures we have seen over the years, they feel quite out of character, if I have to be honest. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here, we have a scale figure of I from Oshinoko, Medicom PPP series. Apparently, PPP is actually one of their product lines somehow. 20,000 yen for 1/8 scale. Not cheap, not expensive either. The problem with this figure is that there are quite a few other better looking figures of I that I find it hard to recommend this one by Medicom. Kadokawa has a 1/7 of her. And then, was it Kotobukiya? Furio also has one. I'm sure Furio has it. There were like 3 or 4 other scale figures of her where the paint work is significantly better. Look at her dress over here, right? The red color region and the pink color region. Lacking in shading. There are some shading on the pink region, but the red area up here, I can't say the paint work is as sophisticated looking as the ones offered by other figure companies. Yeah, just go and check out the pictures of those by Kadokawa or Furio. They look miles better than this one. So I am quite particular about paint work on figures in general, the way they do the gradient, and for that reason alone, I feel like I couldn't recommend this one. Okay, moving on to the next one, what do we have over here? Okay, 1x7 scale Calabiyao Xinghui Midsummer Starry Night version by Reverse Studio. Once again, I have no clue who this is at all, but 1x7 scale but at 20k is a fair price. After all, this is a Chinese brand coming out in December, and that is next year, year 2025. So you might get this figure only in year 26. These kind of sleeping pose figures are also very common, man. Very common. For all the props you're getting, 20k is fair. Is this... Okay, I see the word S3 Nova up here. So this has to be a character from a game, right? This almost sounds like... Yeah, the name of a game developer company. I'm just guessing. Next one over here, Dead Alive Kurumi again. So many figures of her. Raziel version by Hobby Stock at 1x7 scale, very expensive, 27,000 yen. But despite the price, yeah, people are pre-ordering her. I already had affiliate sales on this figure even before this video was published. So people actually like her a lot, and I think I can understand why. I mean, despite the huge deluge of Kurumi figures, there is something special about this one. Maybe it is the pose or the face expression. It is quite attractive to me. And you know, I really love this kind of darker color crimson red or maroon red, because you know, the typical red color you see on some figures, they are so bright and so distracting in a way, and this kind of toned down red color is more attractive to my eyes. So I really like the color scheme of this Kurumi figure. Yeah. 27k is quite expensive. I would even go as far to say it is a bit overpriced for what she is, but I guess as long people like it, people will purchase it, right? Moving on to the next one over here, a 1x7 scale Azalane Giulio Cesare. Is it? Cesare. Okay, High Tide Under the Sunlight by Freeing. Wow, Freeing doing 1x4, 1x6 bunny, 1x7 too. After all, Azalane makes the money, right? Okay, this is 22,000 yen. Fair enough at 1x7 with that, with the whole package over here. And coming out in February, very soon. No, Freeing and their figures, they have very quick release dates. Yeah. An average 6 months of waiting time only. I don't like this one. I don't like it. And because I don't like it, because she is too average for an Azalane figure, I can see this one binning after release. Yeah. So you might want to wait. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, we have a saber over here. Looks like Castoria to me. Oh, this isn't Castoria. This is Saika Kozaki from King's Proposal. Looks like Castoria 69th Ascension to me, if I have to be honest. Okay, by Good Smile Company. October release next year, 25k plus. Okay, I don't know what King's Proposal is. I don't play the game. I'm assuming it is a game. But character design wise, because she looks like a saber face, I am kind of interested. Oh. I am such a sucker for details that just looking at this one single picture over here, I want it. I will wait for after release, yeah. I will wait for after release, but this is going into my bookmarks. I want one. 25k is fair. This is not too different from 1x7 scale saber face figures by Good Smile, no, including Skahak Skadi that came out just a few months ago. I'm waiting for the price on that one to fall a bit before buying as well. Alright. She goes into my bookmarks. I don't have much else to say other than I want one. Yeah. I love detailed figures like this. Moving on to the next one, we have two re-releases from Good Smile. Yeah, Mikoto Misaka from third season of Railgun, 15k, and also Kuroko, 15k, coming out this December very quick because they already have the molds, right? Okay, so I am a bit surprised by these two figures getting re-releases at all. I mean, yeah, sure, the Railgun series is very popular and it is my favorite Railgun series in general. Like compared to To Aru Majutsu no Index, I actually like Railgun more because of the scientific parts of it. I love sci-fi, you know. And all 3 seasons have been great. Amazing animation coming from JC stuff. I am actually starting to wonder whether a 4th season is coming, and I would be the happiest person on the planet if we get a 4th season. Yeah, because recently I'm starting to see a bit more, real gun figures coming out. I think Prisma Wing, was it Prisma Wing? Was making new figures also of this series, so I'm a bit curious about it. But I don't follow news on anime that much, you know. Okay, yeah, 15k each, great purchases in general, you know. And you know that Guzman will deliver with figures like this. They don't mess up their figures much. Except Black Rock Shooter a couple of years ago. Moving on to the next one. Yeah, we have Kotobukiya milking the Mushoku Tensei fanbase. Wow. They don't have to do much at all. They just be like, okay, let's take the same sculpt and spray the whole thing in clay color, and we can call this original version, the same clay sculpt we saw in the anime, and sell it to people. People will buy it at 15,000 yen. I don't know why one would buy this unpainted figure at 15,000 yen. Well, not exactly unpainted, but you get my point. Sometimes, you look at something, it feels like a stupid idea, but it actually sells, and this is one of them. Yeah, I can see Kotobukiya selling it. I mean, I'm sure they would have done some surveys, right? And it is because the numbers are favorable that is why they are making stuff like this. But I don't see the point, really. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Kotobukiya 1/7 scale SNK, the King of Fighters 97, Leona Hayden. 17,000 yen coming out in April next year. I don't play KOF. I played a bit of Street Fighter, a bit of Tekken, but not KOF. So I don't know anything about this character, just that she looks like one of the most boring female characters I've seen in any fighting game. And blue hair and military or olive green. No, that is not olive green. Anyways, blue hair and green outfit is like a really bad match. Both are cold colors. You need to match cold and warm colors for things to look nicer. So it really doesn't appeal to me that much. 17k is somewhat reasonable for something like this. Moving on to the next one over here, we have a re-release. Kasumi Yoshizawa Phantom Thief version from Persona 5 Royal. 17,500 yen, February release very soon as well. Okay, so with P5, if you can, try to get the Amakuni figures. Yeah, if you can. Otherwise, Kotobukiya is probably the second best option. Yeah. And, there's a third option, Mega House. Yeah, Mega House makes a lot of P5 stuff, but their figures are small and overpriced, and comes with surprise plastic rods. This one might come with a surprise plastic rod though, and if it does, I'm not surprised at all, because the whole figure is leaning like 45 or 50 degrees, and with nothing supporting her right knee. Any of you who are existing owners of this figure, because this has been out before, is there a surprise plastic rod? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, or maybe I should just check out pictures in MFC. It is a bit hard to believe that a figure like this can stand on one single foot peg. Moving on to the next one, another re-release. Last week we had one My Little Pony figure. This week we have another one, Twilight Sparkle, 16,000 yen. Nice colors, by the way. Not the kind of stuff I would buy, but the color scheme on this is really nice. Pink, lavender, purple, violet. Yeah, this is going to sell really well for sure. Moving on to the next one, more re-releases by Kotobukiya. We have Conan, Detective Conan, 11,000 yen. Very short figure. And also, of course, yeah, Phantom Thief, 12,500 yen. Are we getting a new anime series, or the manga is getting expanded or something like that? Everyone are making figures. Good Smile as well. Pop-Up Parade, and then we had Furio and the Tenitol series. They are also putting these figures from Detective Conan on pre-order nowadays. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have more re-releases. Wave Corporation Dream Tech 1/7 scale Chiyo Shimada Orai Girls from Girls and Panzer. 20k is very expensive. There is a small discount over here, but 18,800 is still very expensive for a plain JK figure. But they don't have a reason to charge less, because Girls and Panzer, there is like a cult following. There is a huge fan base for this series. I watched the first 2 seasons. Was it the first season? Yeah, the first season and one movie. And then there were more movies after that, which I have not watched yet. But what I do know is that, yeah, it is extremely popular. I wish that someone would make a 1/8 scale tank yeah, to display next to these figures, but it would cost a lot. And the next one also from Girls and Panzer, yeah, re-released as well, Shiho Nishizumi 18800. I complained that it is expensive, but they are getting re-released, which means there is demand for it, right? Up next, we have KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay, pop-up red Falin Chimera XL size from Delicious in Dungeon. 34,300 yen, 400 yen. Okay, may release next year. I haven't checked the dimensions of this figure in MFC, by the way. My first time reacting to this. So I believe that the human portion, the torso and up, including the head, that is the size of a normal pop-up red figure. But because the rest of the figure is so massive, they include this under the XL category rather than the normal non-XL or non-L category, if you get my point. So no, this is not the giant figure that you would imagine would take up your entire desk. This is normal pop-up red size, but bigger than usual, right? So 35,000 yen, fair enough, I suppose. I'm actually surprised that they went and make something like this, because if you were to ask me, do I believe in something like this selling well, I would say no, right? Yet they choose to make one. So who knows? Maybe over in Japan, someone wants a figure like this. But if Good Smile Company is willing to make a figure like this, I really wish that there is a figure company out there, be it Amakuni or Kyoskyu or anyone else, please make an Astolfo figure with his, hippogriff. One set, 1/8 scale is fine, 1/7 is even better, but 1/8 is fine. I mean, you look at the Lancer Artoria figures by Good Smile and Eastream, right? Yeah. Just do the same thing, but Astolfo and Hippogriff, I would totally buy it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one over here. From Proof, we have Attack on Titan Levi versus Beast Titan version, almost 38,000 yen. September release next year. In my opinion, this looks a bit awkward. Like, it almost looks like there is a tentacle trying to grab Levi. It looks a bit unnatural, you know, the effect part over there. I know it is just wind. Yeah, like wind swirling around, or, you know, movement effect parts. Yeah, the gear they use, there is some steam coming out. Maybe that is what it is supposed to represent. But when you convert something that is not solid into a solid object, like this figure over here, it looks weird. Yeah, so I am not sure if I like this Levi figure at all. Moving on to the next one, we have two Hatsune Miku scale figures. The first one is Miku View 2024 version by Full View, 26,000 yen, coming out in July next year. This is like Miku in Olympics in year 2300 maybe. Some futuristic looking sport of some kind. It is hard to impress me with Miku figures nowadays. There are not many Miku figures that I like, right? And this isn't one of them, unfortunately. I think it is a great concept. It is very different from other Miku figures, but not the kind of thing I would like, even when I love science fiction stuff. And the second Miku figure here, right, it feels like this one went on pre-order on AmiAmi 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but HLJ is late on listing it. Very familiar. Hobby stock, 27,000 yen. Miku Expo 2023 VR version. Yeah, I covered this before. A couple of weeks ago. 27k, a bit overpriced. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. We are now entering low-cost figure territory, and we have a lot of them this week. The first one is perhaps my favorite. Yeah. Razorlin stock or Ryza cosplaying as Miku. But they call her Racing Miku 2023 version. Now you get her in this pop-up rate at 5,000 yen. I'm concerned once again because of so many small details on this figure. I'm not sure if Good Smile can nail the painting part, whether they can get it right or not. Yeah. So my concern lies in her outfits over here. Any closer up pic? Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, mainly the gold color parts over here. This should be a decal. Good Smile Racing, that is a decal placement, and then a spray a clear coating over it to seal it together with the paint. This gold color parts over here is a bit of a concern. The same thing can be said about those on her sleeves over here on her arm. Yeah. Otherwise, this is looking to be a great purchase in case you can't afford the scale figure. There is a 1x7 scale figure of her as well by Good Smile. Next one over here, okay, this is probably one of the best looking low cost figures this week. Well, make her the best looking one. Mieto's 1x10 scale gift plus Arknight's Amiya floating gear version. So, is that Hello Kitty? No, right? It looks like one to me. Okay, 4,800 yen. February release. For only 4,800 yen, the size of a pop-up crate, but the quality is going to be quite a lot better. Grab one if you love Arknights. This is a very good buy. I would prefer it if her jacket over here is some other color and not olive green. Yeah, it makes the entire figure look a bit dull. Like, we have brown hair, grey color shirt. If this jacket over here is like maybe camel brown, yeah, camel brown, or even deep tone yellow, that would be amazing. No more color contrast. Yeah, that is the only bad part about this figure, is that the overall color scheme is a bit dull. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Okay, pop-up crate again, Oracle Persona 5. Yeah, this is a re-release, 4,000 yen. If you want an expensive scale figure of her, I think for over 20,000 yen. Yeah, Amakuni has a scale figure of her, but that one is quite rare and expensive, I believe. Was re-released at least once, but still rare and expensive. Amakuni has a scale figure of her. Next one, we have Makoto Naegi from Pop-Up Rate Danganronpa 1-2 Reload, 4,000 yen, February release. Now, this is one of the saddest pop-up rates I've seen in a while. This looks terrible, man. Okay, looks terrible is the wrong phrase, I think. More like it looks a bit too low effort coming from Good Smile, no? It is like, oh, this is a dude and a typical male protagonist character. We don't have to do much to sell it. Something like that. As for Makoto Naegi, are there scale figures of him? I can't remember. Up next, another pop-up rate, Rohan Kishibe from JoJo, 5,000 yen, coming out in January. Yeah, no comment from me. Other than, once again, the fine details on the outfit, I am a bit concerned with the accuracy of the paintwork. Same thing goes to this belt over here. Yeah. Up next, we have a pair of figures from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, Satoru Gojo and Suguru Geto. They call it premature death version. Ouch. Rubbing salt into the wounds of the fans of these two characters, man, with the way they named it. Yeah, this is the kind of figure where they won't mess up because it is just plain black, you know. Nothing to paint over there. Okay, up next, we have a bunch of Figo Arts Zero figures by Bandai. I normally find them very hard to justify because they're small figures, but at the same time, they're a lot more detailed and higher quality than pop-up rates, and they often get a very nice diorama base. So I find it hard to come up with a conclusion of my own, like whether it is a good value purchase or not. Yeah, on one hand, I understand why they are expensive, but on the other hand, I'm not a fan of paying big money for small stuff, you know, small figures. So yeah, I feel conflicted about the Figo Arts Zero line in general. Okay, so we'll go through this very quickly. The first one, Obito Uchiha. Is this from Bleach or Naruto? I mean, Uchiha is a familiar name. Okay, anyways, here's the first one. The next one over here, Shanks God Avoidance. Wow, over almost 11,000 yen. This is from One Piece, right? I recognize the character. Yeah, very heavy shading, you see? The detail is there for this line of figures. The next one here, Kakashi Hatake. This has to be from Naruto. 9,400 yen after a discount. It is quite a nice looking slash effect part though, I have to admit it. The next one here, okay, this is from One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy Gear 5 Gigant. a re-release by Bandai, almost 15,000 yen. Yeah, half of the figure price goes to the effect parts and the base. The next one over here, okay, the last two figures are from Miku MIC. I don't know much about them. This is Slam Dunk Hanamichi Sakuragi, re-release 5,000 yen. Small figure. This is like 15 or 16 centimeters if not mistaken. Yeah, HLJ did not mention, but this is closer to 1/10 scale actually. And the second one, Kaede Rukawa from the same series, 5,000 yen as well, re-release. And before we move on to AmiAmi, a quick mention. I think this is quite important for people like me at least. Hobby Link Japan is starting to take pre-orders for Aniplex exclusive stuffs. And this is big news to me, major news for me. I told you guys that I won't pre-order this Berserker Altrea because, you know, Aniplex exclusive means nothing to me. The value will still maintain or go down after release. So I will wait until after release. That hasn't changed yet. But if you were to pre-order early, right? AmiAmi asked for 35,000 yen because they included the 10% Japanese GST tax. This is under 32k on HLJ because they don't charge you that 10% tax. So this is huge for me. Should I choose to pre-order it? Yeah, I will get it over here. And this is just the first Aniplex exclusive figure on pre-order on HLJ. We'll see in future how things will be. They might take their own sweet time, like how they do with some other Kadokawa figures. After AmiAmi pre-order opens or Aniplex pre-order opens, maybe they'll start taking orders a week later. So you really need to stalk HLJ if you prefer to shop from this site to get a lower price. I'm happy to see that in general, Aniplex exclusives are becoming a lot easier to purchase in general. Yeah. Okay, and the last two figures, yeah, they were on pre-order last week. I have already covered them. They are now on HLJ as well. We have Mordred and Jen Diak by Wanderer, 23k each over here on HLJ. And that is all for HLJ. Now we move on to AmiAmi. And for this week, we don't have many AmiAmi exclusives. Only two of them. The first one is this Albedo Hermes Trimegistus version from Overlord 4. By DMM Factory, 36,300 yen. I would say that is expected, right? Given the level of detail, the amount of things going on with this figure, and a very nice base as well, 36,000 yen is justifiable for the case of this figure. And this is hands down my favorite Albedo figure yet. Yes, my favorite, after so many figures of her. Now, moving on to her face over here, there was a bit of controversy saying that this doesn't really look like Albedo, at least the ones you saw in anime. I believe this is closer to the design in the manga, right? And some people say that it is more like a crossover, a mix of both the manga art style and also the anime. But in my opinion, I don't really have a problem with it. I do like what she looks like over here. The only remaining question is whether I should get one. Yeah. I don't collect Overlord stuff. I don't have a single figure of Albedo, not even a Taito AMB Plus yet. At the same time, this reminds me of Saber Alter a bit, except with wings, so who knows. I told you guys before, I love women, girls with armor and huge weapons, so this is totally my kind of thing. When it comes to anime figure character design, we'll see. And the second exclusive over here, from Colors, Sumugi 1/6 scale, by Magic Mold, which I've never heard of. Okay, 33,000 yen. Ouch, this is expensive. 33k. This is like 15 or 20% too expensive to my liking. 27k would be okay. Even with that base factored in, right? Okay, coming out in June 2025. Is this an original art figure? It looks like it to me though. And quite photogenic, yeah. Nice looking figure, just that I'm not sure if this is worth 33k. Okay, the next 6 or 7 figures, they are all edgy stuff, right? So I need to cover them up in some way. Okay, so for this week, we have Pure, Shiho Miyamae, illustrated by Jack Dempa. 1/4 and 1/6. 1/4 scale is 54,000 yen. Yeah, that is a lot more expensive than a typical freeing figure. But you are getting cast off able parts and this base over here. So that is up to you to decide whether this is justifiable or not. I think it is okay. Yeah. I don't know why people find women in this squatting position on a toilet bowl is attractive, but there has been so many figures throughout the history of anime figures where we have women squatting in the Asian squat pose. We have so many figures of them, and there has been quite a few with toilets included with the figure. Anyways, 54k for 1x4 skill or 24k for 1x6 skill. And really, 24,000 yen is not bad at all for a 1x6 skill, to be honest. Given that, once again, this is cast stoppable and she has a very attractive face over here. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Taimanin RPGX becoming very popular lately. Okay, Kirara Onisaki 1x6 skill by Nocturne, 35,000 yen. June release next year. Too thick to my liking. Huge meatballs, not my kind of figure. Okay, and we have another figure over here which looks very similar in character design. Seo Konbu, original character published, cover of Comic Bevel. I was about to call it Marvel Comics. Lily Hoshino 1x6 skill by Rocket Boy, almost 29,000 yen. She looks fine. It is just that I've seen so many similar figures before that I am already desensitized to a certain extent. It doesn't feel that special to me anymore. After all, I have been in this hobby for 15 years. Up next, we have a binding 1x6, not 1x4. Wow, shrinkflation is hitting figures as well. Ukari Karen-chan, Karen Kaza Matsui Bani version, 26,400, which is, pricey for a 1x6 skill. Once again, I'm desensitized already. I feel nothing looking at this figure. Next one, what do we have? That very studious class representative or class president in H anime who turns out to be a huge addict of adult activities. I actually like this kind of theme quite a bit in anime. So this is Secret of a Class President, illustrated by Gamo Tsukinowa, 1x4 skill by Pure, once again, Pure, 53,000 yen, April release next year. Now this feels expensive, like what else can you cast off, right? Everything is almost exposed. Are they including any bonus like a wall scroll maybe? Maybe. According to the descriptions at the below, there is a Genga Shikishi included in the package, but still, despite that, 52k, 53k feels rather expensive. And the last figure on AmiAmi, this is probably the most economical choice for most of you. The same figure at 1x6 skill, 22,000 yen. Sounds a lot more reasonable. And before we move on to third priorities, we jump over to Nin Game to check out Fort Japan Beeful and Insight figures for the week, which AmiAmi and HLJ do not sell because they break too much and they don't want to deal with the complaints. Especially from inexperienced figure collectors who don't know what they are dealing with when they decide to pre-order a figure by this brand, right? Okay, the first one over here, Sakyo Basu no Yuwaku Wizuri 1x6 skill by Fort Japan. Fort Japan, they make somewhat safe for work figures, somewhat no edgy parts. So this is not customable. This is all you get. 19k at 1x6 skill, 27k at 1x4 skill. And then the next one by Fort Japan. This looks like a childhood version of Asuna Ichinose from Blue Archive, and she is as horny as ever since she was young. But this is Gachi Koi Bunny Girl Rio 1x6 skill at 19k, or 1x4 skill, at 27. The color scheme is also exactly the same. I just couldn't help but draw comparisons with Asuna Ichinose. Okay, the next one here, once again, there are Fort Japan and Insight versions. Fort Japan version, she is wearing a violet pantsu down there. Obedient pose in health room, Miyo. 19k at 1x6, 27k at 1x4 skill. And then we have the Insight version where she isn't wearing any pantsu underneath, fully exposed Oshiri for 19 and 27k as usual depending on the skill. And the last two figures are by Insight. This is all I can show you. Demonic Master Grammary. Wait, did I cover this one last week? I think I did, right? Yeah, but anyways, these are the last two figures on the genuine side for today. 1x6 and 1x4 as usual. And that is all for licensed anime figures on pre-order this week. Now we move on to OSGK, our affiliate partner as well for the third-party resin figures. As usual, I have a few links down in the descriptions below. Make use of them to enter Hobby Link Japan or OSGK if you are planning to purchase or pre-order anything, and that will help out this channel a lot. Okay, with third parties, I have chosen the stuff I want to cover, not as many as the genuine figures site, but we do have a lot of nice stuff. Okay, and also a lot of degenerate figures this week, so some censorship I just couldn't avoid it, right? Okay, we shall begin with Anya like we do every week. 4 Anya figures this week. Okay, first one is by Zoro Studio in maid outfit, $99 coming out this December. Yeah, difficult to recommend. I say the same thing every week because there are too many figures of Anya. If you want to get something third party, get something that the genuine figure brands won't make, right? Get something special. The second one would be Anya Forger Cos Kagura, presumably the one from Gintama. Yeah, this is what I mean by getting something that genuine licensed figure brands won't make. Like this kind of crossover, for example. Though specifically for this Anya, yeah, you're buying it only for the face expression. Everything else not very special. Yeah, by NB Studio, $80, December release. The third one, okay, this is Knight Anya Forger, Cos Firefly. And this third one we have a Genshin, no, Honkai, sorry, Honkai Star Rail crossover, Firefly. This is a bit better. Very nice crossover over there. Oh, we have one here in the same hair color as Firefly as well. Now, this is something worth considering if you want something unique, right? And very nice face expression. I like this overconfident face expression over here. So, the pink color is the primary color, I think. Yep, $119 US, and then there is a Firefly color for $119 as well. Tough choice, right? I mean, you want Anya to be in pink, yet this one, Firefly color will resemble Firefly a lot more, especially with this head armor parts over here. And the fourth Anya figure, we have Cos Harry Potter, which, not my kind of thing. 2 color versions as well, A and B, going for $93 each, no release date yet. And then we have, Shy Your Forger by Mingchuan Studio, and unfortunately I have to cover up a lot because this is the kinds of swimsuit which does not exist in real life other than the ones JAV actresses wear for filming the kind of movie that you love watching so much. Okay, so this is $208 at 1x6 scale, which is fair enough for typical 1x6 scale resin figure, and I can't even show the back side of this figure because there is barely any clothes on. However, for the face, yeah, the face of this Your Forger, I can't say I like it that much. I think Dodomo Studio did a better job with a figure of a very seductive looking Your Forger. Yeah, the one by Dodomo Studio, do check her out. Though pre-orders have already closed at this point. Moving on to the next one, from Star Universe Studio, we have Naruto Hyuga Hinata. Okay, standard version, $182, and then you can buy the DLC, as they call it. Extra parts for you to swap out so that you can display her half Hadaka, and also a different faceplate. That one has to be purchased separately at $75. So if you go for the full package, for example, you need to buy both 182 plus 75, that is closer to $300, right? No, 182 plus 75, $260 plus. Okay. Not common for sure. I mean, Hyuga Hinata in this kind of outfit, I have always liked this tight looking leather-like outfit on female characters, on figures, but a bit out of character, isn't it? This isn't the kind of outfit you'll see Hinata wear. Anyways, for those of you who love fan service, this is a great looking figure of her. The next one here, we have only one Piece figure this week. Young Big Mom. Okay, so white and black version, depending on the color prefer for her bikini. $187 each, releasing in March 2025. For those of you who love big old moms, not me though. Moving on to the next figure, we have a figure of Violet Evergarden available in 1x6 and 1x4. Though unfortunately, OSGK is not being very transparent over here. They have high edition, intermediate edition, low edition, and DLC, which is available for only the intermediate edition. What about skill options? Anyways, this is ranging from $465, and then there's the intermediate edition at $296, low edition $226. I think high edition is only available in 1x4. Yeah, intermediate and low edition, they are 1x6 skills with extra parts. There are some descriptions at the bottom over here on what is included in each version. I'll always read the details if you're interested. But overall, I wish that they are being clearer with the options available over there. Now let's have a look at this figure where you have the option of displaying her with a realistic face. Yeah, this one right here, not my kind of thing. Feels like buying a figure of a cosplayer. And fortunately, you also have an anime version to swap out, right? Yeah, so this is the size difference, quite significant over here between 1.6 and 1.4. And here we get a good look on the anime version, which looks fantastic. Oh, this sculpt is very close to what we see in the anime, in the film. Yeah, this looks great. Pose, right? I think this is, they are following the artwork, the official artwork, if I'm not mistaken. Very photogenic as well. You might want to consider this one. Looks really great. Next one over here from Galaxy Studio, we have Falin from Delicious in Dungeon. The human version, not the KFC version. Only $137 to get yourself a figure of Falin with a lot of fan service. So much that I need to cover her up. Okay, $137 only, December release. Of course, it is customable. This is like a must-have feature, an unspoken feature among third parties. Otherwise, why would you even buy one in the first place? Not something I would consider. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have a few 1x4 skills. Starting off with a very chat Cell. Having fun with Android 18 over here. Now, this was hilarious. Yeah, it went viral on my Facebook page for very obvious reasons. $465 for everything you're getting over here. Technically, 2 figures. Yeah, this is great value. This is what I mean by spending your money on third-party resin figures. The kind that genuine figure brands won't make, and this is one excellent example. Yeah. Moving up to the next 1x4 skill, I'm not sure if this is a licensed resin statue or not. Not specified over here, but it does look a lot like one to me. Yeah, judging by, the way they did the product photos over here. Outworld Creation Studio Mortal Kombat Kitana Edenia Princess. Okay, $900 at 1x4 skill. Yeah, and at this kind of pricing, I'm even more inclined to believe it is licensed, but no details over here. Coming out in June 2025. Oh, great. The pictures are not loading again because of third world's internet connection. But anyways, I'm not sure if I can justify this thing for $900 at 1x4 scale unless it is a licensed figure, of course. I always support licensed stuff first. And the reason why I say $900 isn't great if this is unlicensed resin figure is because the next 2 figures, they are among the main highlights this week, and yeah, they are amazing. So the first one here, from Peach Studio, 1x4 scale, Heaven's Lost Property Ikaros. This is nostalgic. This anime, Heaven's Lost Property or Sora no Otoshimono, is from year 2009, and I'm surprised that there are figure companies today still remembering this anime series and choosing to do a 1x4 scale figure of her no less, because there are no 1x4 scale figures of Ikaros out there. Will they do a figure of Nymph? Maybe. So if you are not familiar with Sora no Otoshimono, all I can tell you is go and watch it. I can't remember whether it is 1 or 2 seasons, but it does have a movie as well. Yeah. Edgy anime and hilarious AF. My favorite episode was episode 4. I still remember it today. Episode 4 of first season, where pantsus were exploding everywhere. Yeah, go and watch it. Please watch it. This is already classic status by today, but so nostalgic, man. When I see the Nim Ikaros. Now, the one they're looking at, that is realistic face for sure, but they are giving you guys an anime face and they're making it clear, right? So yeah, this is pretty much what she looks like in the anime, and you might think her face looks a bit weird, but yeah, that is how anime characters looked like in the mid and late 2000s. This is quite accurate to how she looks in the anime. And then even the realistic version, while I'm normally not a big fan of it, she doesn't look too bad either, to be honest. It is like a more matured, more adult version of Ikaros over here. My only concern is this Ahoge over here. Yeah, this hair strand, wow, that is going to be fragile AF, man. And the next one, oh, Hyperspace Studio Stellar Blade Eve. And this is among the best looking Stellar Blade figures yet at 1x4 scale for very obvious reasons. Go and check out her pictures, right? I can't scroll through too much. Okay, so version A, the one you're looking on screen, is $448 only. Version B, I believe, yeah, this one with less clothes on, but still looks amazing, for $361, and you can get both for $671. Anyways, go and check out the pictures on your own. Yeah, this is worth it, man. $671 for the full package, or you can just get the basic version and forget about the fan service. Yeah, I would say just go for the basic version, $448, and you have one of the best looking Eve figures so far. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have 2 original character figures. The first one is the biggest cow, apparently, but I have certainly seen bigger cows than this woman over here by Triple S Hot Studio. 1x4 scale, $296, but that is not yet confirmed. Early bird pre-order. Not my kind of figure for sure, but hey, $296 for 1x4 scale is not a bad value proposition. And the second one over here is the exact opposite. I call this a super lolly because she is smaller than even a normal lolly. A Pinky Studio Original Meow. 1x6 scale but very tiny. She is less than 10 centimeters overall, even at 1x6 scale. So $163 feels kind of expensive, you know. And yes, you are getting a meow meow down there. So if you are into this kind of figure, moving up to the next figure, this is a white mold apparently. Yeah, I'm highlighting it over here. Always read item description carefully before buying anything. Okay, so this is Pink Kitty Studio Original Octopus Witch original character as well. $254 for an unpainted figure is a bit pricey. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no additional info down here, but I would assume that it is unpainted given the white mold being typed into the title over here. So maybe this is not something for most of you watching this video today. Moving on to the next one, we have one single figure from Arc Knights. Sutor. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Okay, by What You Think Studio. So this is 1x4 scale at only $344. And she is partially customable. Yeah. At this price, you're getting additional parts actually because she is partially customable. Like, she's pulling up her shirt with no undergarments underneath. Same thing can be said below. So you're actually getting more than one figure over here, like 1.5 figures in a way for $344. Quite a fair price at 1x4 scale. And her face is fine to me. She looks great. In fact, it is quite difficult to mess up the face of a 1x4 scale figure because it is big enough to have, some margins for error when you're manufacturing something. Moving on to the next one, okay, we have a few Honkai Star Rail figures as usual with every week, and a lot of fan service stuff for this week. The first one is by Galaxy Studio Sparkle. Now, this is great because at 1x4 scale, this is going for $289 only, and at 1x7 scale, $180. Yeah, this is one of those rare cases where you get a 1x7 resin figure. And she is actually sitting on a long stool. So 1x4 scale for the entire package you're getting, $289 is great value, seriously. As for the face, this is not the best looking Sparkle figure out there. There has been so many resin figures of her, but some of you just want a huge figure with a lot of fan service and you don't care if it is not the best thing ever. So this is worth considering at under $300, seriously. Alright, moving on to the next one, another Sparkle figure by Yuying Studio. This is 1x6 scale, and okay, the figure alone is $156. You can get a DLC silicone chest where you get soft materials for the Oppai to swap out. For not too much money, I believe, yeah, $37, so that is up to you. Not an important feature to me. Now, between this figure and the other one earlier at 1x4 scale, this one has a better looking face for sure. So this is between choosing a bigger figure or a smaller one with a slightly better face overall, but this is only $156, a lot cheaper than the $289 earlier. The next Honkai figure, we have School Uniform Firefly by Pineapple Studio. This is cast-offable partially. There is a part to swap out and then you can expose her Oppai, and also down there for only $191 at 1x6 scale. January 25 release. Alright, quite soon. And the face on this figure of Firefly, she looks great. She looks fine. I mean, if you have a massive Firefly figure with the mecha next to her and you want something fan servicey, you can consider this one as well to display next to your main Firefly figure. The next one here from Honkai Impacted, we have Bronya Zaychik by Arctic Wolf Studio. Man, no, the sheer speed of Arctic Wolf Studio coming up with new figures, it is like they are printing pictures, man. Yeah. Almost every week or two, they have something new. And somehow, they are able to get their figures out with a decent quality to boot. Yeah. Okay, so this is 1x6 scale at only $208. And yes, you can cast her off, swapping out parts, of course, and entire torso. So this is once again a value proposition from Arctic Wolf Studio. They do this a lot. And her face looks great. In general, Arctic Wolf Studio, I don't question figures made by them anymore when it comes to the face. But paint quality is the different matter altogether. I'm still lacking information in that regard, yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have a couple of Blue Archive figures. Wow, this Alice here. At 1x6 scale, $147. You already know what kind of figure this is, right? Yeah, coming out this November very soon, $147 only. I told you guys, there are a lot of degenerate figures this week. I would love to have one. And the second one is an early bird pre-order by Smokin Sexy Style Studio. Wow. Asuna Ichinose. Available in 1x4 and 1x6 scale, though. Okay, let's have a look at the price. 1x6 scale is $279. 1x4 is only $344. Yeah, 1x4 is better value, isn't it? The face is not as accurate or as nice as the one by Max Factory. I know I'm a bit biased because I own the Max Factory version, but the whole point why I bought the Max Factory version is because I think that is the best face among all Asuna figures out there so far. So that is like the gold standard for me to compare to. And this one is okay. I mean, she still looks like Asuna, but $344 only. And oh, by the way, do you guys think that Freeing or Union Creative, Freeing especially, will they do a 1x4 scale Asuna in future? I would say it is very likely. And they are going to ask 40,000 yen and up for sure. Yeah. I believe that day will happen. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is an early bird pre-order with a teaser picture from Niji Studio Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Pyra. Okay, no price yet. This is not the real price. 1x6 scale. At this scale, I would say $250 to $300 range. That is the normal range, right? Nothing much else to see over here with the way they are showing us the back picture of this figure. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have a few Genshin figures. I think 4 or 5 of them. Cool Couple Studio Keqing again. And standard edition at 1/6 scale is $206. High edition $279. Yep, cast off parts, of course. With Keqing, right? How do I put it? Apex Toys did an amazing work with her. And the only reason why you buy a third party is because you want the degenerate stuff. This one is a bit too generic for me to recommend. Meanwhile, the other existing Keqing figures, it is not like they are easy to find either, right? Especially if they are already released or pre-order closed. So yeah. Moving on to the next Genshin figure. This is one of the main highlights this week. This is wow. Damn it, Hakimi Studio. This is amazing. Arlecchino from Genshin Impact. This is 1/6 scale but very expensive because of how big the figure is. So Battle Suit version, the one you're looking at, this one right here, this is $396 for everything over here. Woo! I really want one, but that is a lot of money. Moving on to the next version, regular wear version. This is only $272. And this version probably makes more sense for some of you who are struggling with space issues. This is what you are getting, which still looks fabulous, right? You're saving like $120 and you're still getting a very stunning figure of Arlecchino. Look at that face. This is incredible. And this is already the best looking Arlecchino scale figure so far by a third party. Of course, this is this is epic for sure, but you're paying extra $120. Oh, this is what I would want personally. Of course, this is rough, man. Yeah, the regular version is getting a slightly simpler base, but still a very nice base. And then there's a version C fan service version, which I can't put on screen. So yeah. If you get both, you can go up to $538. There is a small discount over there. But for me personally, I would settle for this one. Yeah, I don't care about the fan service version. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh wow. Keqing and Ganyu having fun over here by Arctic Wolf Studio again. $257 for 2 figures. This is not yet confirmed, but I think the final price will not deviate too much from what is being quoted over here. Alright, I don't have much comments otherwise. Next, Genshin figure, more degenerate stuff. Xianbei Studio with Genshin Impact White Heroically and Nahida. $77 only for 2... What? Oh, I see. 2 lollies stuck in the wall with their ass facing you. So, $77. Let's hope that is for both. That is really cheap for sure. Yeah, this is really cheap. But we don't have additional pictures over here. I hope it is not just a butt on the wall. There is another half of the figure on the other side. I don't know anything at the moment. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, this is from Light and Dust Studio. Yae Miko and Raiden Shogun. 2 1/4 skills at $553. Amazing value for sure, but because they are of realistic face, not my kind of thing. The pose is amazing though. It looks so natural. They are floating and then, yeah, very natural looking pose. And then the next one over here, we have one single figure from Triple Z. Alice 21 Studio. This is a studio I am keeping an eye on because I really like their products so far. I've seen pictures of their factory production pictures of their existing figures. They look amazing. So I am keeping an eye on this company over here. This is Zhu Yuan. Okay, standard version is going for $254 and then there is a high edition version, $272. And then there's a deluxe version for $309. So the price difference is so small, might as well go all out, right? Okay, so let's hope I can click on some of the pictures over here. Okay, so we get this face expression as well. That is why we buy third parties, isn't it? Yeah, this picture over here. Oh, this is so good, man. I like this figure so much. Will Apex Toys make a scale figure of this character? Yeah, they will, right? They already have three or four triple Z figures in the making. They will probably make more. But if you want fan service stuff like this, you buy third parties. And the last figure for today from Limey Studio, we have Clay from Nikke. $191 at 1/6 scale coming out this December. Yeah, so this is not my kind of figure. I think she is quite nice. Like, if I were to do photography work, I would interpret this as gravure photography. Yeah, where, you know, a women, they show a lot of skin and then you photograph things in a very artistic looking style, I mean. So that is the way I see this figure rather than being a baseball figure. This is more of a gravure style figure to me. But otherwise, not feeling it. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you hit the pre-order button? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, yeah, I'll see you much later. After Wonder Festival, we'll see how quickly can I get Figure News Fix out and continuing where I left off. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon and goodbye.